Hello, today's article is Ryan Holiday, 5 top lessons you can learn from him. So, where the head goes, the body follows. Perception precedes action. Right action follows the right perspective. Ryan Holiday. Ryan Holiday is an American author, modern Stoic, host of the podcast The Daily Stoic, and much more. He teaches us how to live with high values while always trying to be better than yesterday. So before we begin, we have to understand that these lessons come from the Stoic school of philosophy, which demands self-control. For example, Marcus Aurelius. He talks a lot about Marcus Aurelius. For example, about his book Meditations, which is actually really good. So, let's begin. Lesson number 1. What do you value? When you know where you're going, you know what you're willing and not willing to do, and what your goals and dreams are. This massively helps you not to fall into temptation, and also you won't get distracted and lose focus on your journey. Our eyes are on the finish line, and we aren't bothered about going along with hundreds of people or alone. Have you ever come across people with no values? They give up at the first obstacle, they change their minds a million times per day, just because they pretend they are more than they are. We will talk about this later. So basically in this lesson, when you know what do you want, when you know where are you going, you are going to do it, no matter what. So it's basically that. And when I talk about values, dreams, it doesn't have to be something, how can I say this? You can say my values are, for example, I want to be honest, I want to help others, and my dream, for example, is to become, I don't know, something in business, let's say, related to business. You put that on the top of the list, and every single day you try to be better, regardless of what happened. And at the end of the day, it's not if you are that person or not, but it's the process and the whole journey that matters. So lesson number 2, who are you spending time with? There's an old saying, you are who you surround yourself with. Who are your friends? Which authors do you read? What programs do you watch? Which teachers or mentors do you listen to? These questions can change your life. Just imagine working in an office where everybody moans, groans, and complains. That toxic environment will get under your skin sooner or later. So be aware of where you put your time, attention, focus, and energy when it comes to so-called friends. So this one is the old saying, we all hear this. Who are your friends? Who's your closest circle of people? Even, for example, when I talk about the work environment, Jordan Peterson has a really good example on this. For example, if you have a patient and the patient says something like, "I hate my job, everybody complains, it's not something that I enjoy, it's not something that it's just a job, it's not a career. But at the same time, I can pay my rent, I can pay my food, and blah, blah, blah." So he says, okay, let's play a game. Today is fine for you, but what will happen in 5 years, in 10 years? You're going to become more resentment, you're going to become more angry, for example. And that's just the repercussion of yourself in your context, and it's a context that you can change. And sometimes you're going to be alone. If all your quote-unquote friends, they don't care about you, but you don't want to be alone, you will have to be alone sometimes. Number 3, is it within my control? We all love blaming ourselves for things we cannot change. It's a mental ploy to try and completely absolve ourselves of responsibility. As Jordan Peterson said, life is full of pain and suffering, and I completely agree with that statement. But you cannot just feel sorry for yourself and think about what you would prefer to have happen. It already happened. You can't change the past, but you can rewrite the future. You cannot change it. It's time to move on. So lift your head up, get your eyes looking straight ahead, back straight, and pull your shoulders back a bit. Now let's keep going. Every time something bad happens, ask yourself, Was there something I could do to change the outcome? If yes, then learn from your mistakes and become a bigger person. If not, well, it's time to move on. You're stronger than any situation. So this is something that you will hear a lot in positive psychology, but with a different twist. I don't like positive psychology, where you can, in a way, it's a contradiction where everything from the inside reflects the outside, which of course I do think is true in some part, but at the same time, there's always external people, there's always factors. But in this case, and it's something that Ryan talks in his YouTube videos, and there's a book called The Hero, The Obstacle is the Way, which is sometimes you will have an obstacle in your life, and if you cannot do anything about the obstacle, just try to use it in your favor. Try to use it to learn something new. Try to use it to change your perspective. If there's a wall, try to walk around, trying to dig a hole instead of just hitting your head with the wall. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Number 4, are you a coward or are you courageous? Varlam Shalamov, a prisoner in Soviet Gulag, said, "It's not about good and evil, it's about being a coward or not. 95% of cowards are capable of the most horrible things possible." This sounds like the shadow concept from Carl Jung, revisited by Jordan Peterson. We have a dark side. If we do not accept it and do not learn how to control it, it will control of us. It will take control of us. And we will hurt ourselves and the people we care about the most. So basically, all those people who they say they are just pure, they are not able to do evil, that's what they say. There are going to be situations where life is going to put you in a corner. And then if you don't know how to control yourself, you're going to end up hurting yourself and people. So you don't have to be afraid of your shadow. You need to control it. And number 5, are you living your philosophy? To conclude this article and summarize, after reading all the above rules, let me ask you something. Are you looking for a purpose? Are you trying to become a better man or woman? Or are you just trying to impress the masses? The last lesson is a recap of the 4 before. If you follow them, you will be on the right path, learning and growing every single day, regardless of the outcome. We only need to care about the step-by-step daily process and progress. Trust the process. So basically, this is just, like I said, to summarize everything. Sometimes people do things just to impress others, where we have to do things to become better. And once you are better, and once you keep track on the process, and you only care about the process and not the outcome, you will see all the magic things that can happen. And just to finish, some quotes from Ryan Holiday. The world might call you a pessimist. Who cares? It's far better to seem like a downer than to be blindsided or caught off guard. Don't waste a second looking back at your expectations. Face forward and face it with a smug little grin. The great law of nature is that it never stops. There is no end. No, thank you. I can't afford to panic. I really like this one. And then the last one, no one is asking you to look at the world through rose-colored glasses. And this is something really, really good, and I think it expresses what I think about positive psychology, for example. And I mention a lot positive psychology because it seems like it's trending right now, and I do think it's not helping people. But yeah, I encourage you to ask yourself some of the above questions. It's hard but necessary. Let us know in the comments below which lessons is your favorite, and check out Ryan's Holiday work on his podcast, The Daily Stoic. So yeah, you can find this article at KidFit Kingdom. And yeah, let me know your thoughts. Thank you.